Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we are going to check out Family Head Gusting. Yes, Family Head Gusting is finally here, and this guy is absolutely insane. But I just ended my live stream a couple minutes ago, and I pretty much spent the entire live stream grinding. I did some pulls, of course, but half of the live stream was me grinding with Gusting, and he feels really good. He feels really nice. And by the way, I only have one blue star on this character, one blue star, and he's amazing. And that says a lot. So in this video, we're pretty much going to talk about best ignition weapons for Gusting. We're going to talk about teams, and we're also going to talk about, is this character, actually worth summoning for, and is he better than Traumerei, or is he underwhelming as a family head unit? So let's not waste any time, and let's go ahead and hop right into it. Now, since I'm starting to make ToG content again, things are going to be different. Whenever I would make guide videos on characters, I would always read their kit word for word. But honestly, I feel like that part is just too much. Like, I feel like it's unnecessary because you guys can actually read that for yourselves. So I would rather summarize the character's kit instead. I feel like that's a lot better and a lot easier for you guys to understand. So for Gusting, he is a mage unit. His damage type is physical, and he is a wave, I think a wave controller. Yeah, wave controller. So the way that this character works is the most important part about his kit is his passive and his ultimate. You want him to use his ultimate at least 3 times so that he'll be able to reach stage 3 in his passive. So for secret library, he's pretty much going to summon this secret library on the battlefield, and this secret library has 3 different stages. And you guys can see these are the 3 stages right here. For stage 1, it says it unleashes a wave, dealing 600% of Gusting's attack as damage and silencing enemies for 6 seconds. So he has like crowd control effects for stage 1 and also doing some damage, which is pretty good. Now for stage 2, it says he summons a powerful wind that knocks back enemies to the battlefield's edge, dealing 750% of Gusting's attack as damage and reducing movement speed by 60% for 10 seconds. Now, some of you guys might say, well, this isn't too crazy. Stage 2, there's nothing serious about stage 2. Stage 2 is actually insane because I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain later on, but I'm going to let you guys know stage 2, this is what makes Gusting very good. And this is what makes him his active skills very nice. Stage 2, it's really important. But we're going to talk about it in a couple minutes here. For stage 3, it says scatters flames across the battlefield, dealing damage equal to 45% of max HP. So he's pretty much dealing damage based off of the enemy's max HP. They forgot to put there because they would usually put 45% of their max HP, but they left out there, so it's kind of confusing. But it means that he has HP based damage in his kit, which is pretty good. So stage 3 allows him to do insane damage, and that's why he wanted to reach stage 3 so that he can deal HP based damage. And he's also immune to stats effects except for sleep. There are some characters who can inflict sleep. I think there's 2 characters for now, but he's pretty much immune to all stats effects, which is pretty good. So yeah, his passive, insane, really good. But going back to stage 2, so the reason why I say stage 2 is really good is because he is pushing enemies to the back row. Like, he's pretty much pushing enemies to the edge of the battlefield, like the back row. When you look at this active skill, Undying Red Flare, it says that he summons a wall of burning flare at the enemy's end of the battlefield. So he's going to create a wall. Let's say this wall is right over here, right? Undying Red Flare is over here. And then Gusting is over here. And then the enemies are right here in between. He's going to push the enemies with his stage 2. He's going to push them to the wall. And then when the enemies are in the wall, look at this. He's going to deal damage. And at the same time, he's going to reduce their energy by 200. So you guys can see that Undying Red Flare perfectly synchronizes with his stage 2. And then what makes it even better is that for stage 2, the enemy, they have a 60% movement speed reduction. So their movement speed is reduced by 60%. So it's going to be very hard for them to escape the burning flare, like the wall of fire. It's going to be really hard for them to get away from that. So his stage 2, it's really good with this active skill. And that's the reason why You want to build up those stages, because if you're only at stage 1 and he dies before he reaches stage 2 or 3, like you can't really do, like that's bad. So it's really important for you to, use your special skill, your special moves, so that you can build up these so you can, increase these stages. You can evolve the secret library, and you'll be able to get stage 2 and stage 3. He's gonna do more damage, and he's also going to synchronize with Undying Red Flare with this stage 2, which is really good. And of course, Banquet of the Blade. This right here pretty much gives him physical pierce increase, which is really nice. And then of course for his ultimate, pretty much just deals damage, and he also freezes enemies, which is really good. So his whole kit, like his base kit, is really stacked. Physical pierce, HP based damage. He's invincible when he uses his ultimate. Stunning enemies, silencing enemies. He has CC in his kit. Really strong character. Now, when we move on to his exclusive equipment. So his exclusive equipment is actually pretty good. It is really nice. For level 1, it says that Gustang's Banquet of the Blade is enhanced, increasing the damage factor by an additional 200%. For level 2, Gustang's Undying Red Flare is enhanced, increasing the duration by an additional 8 seconds. So his active skill, Undying Red Flare, is going to stay on the battlefield a lot longer. And then for level 3, it says Gustang recovers his energy by 200 at the start of the battle. This is very nice because you'll be able to use his ultimate pretty quickly, and he'll be able to build up, he'll be able to increase the stages, like the stage effect. He'll level up his, the secret library. And then for level 4, Gustang Banquet of the Blade is enhanced, increasing the physical pierce by an additional 40%. So now you're pretty much getting around like 80% physical pierce, which is pretty crazy. Like you have level 4 that gives him an additional 40% physical pierce, and then for the active skill, it gives him 37.5%. They're almost like 80% physical pierce, which is crazy overall. So his whole kit is just stacked. His revolution is where things start to get crazy, right? For tier 4, it says the energy decrease effect on Gustang's Undying Red Flare is changed to steal energy and cannot miss. So this is actually insane, because once again, you want him to use his ultimate, like you want him to use his ultimate many times as possible, so that he'll be able to increase, he'll be able to level up his secret library and get those stage effects. So the fact that he's able to steal energy, really good. And then for tier 5, he gains a 80% physical and magic resistance when he's in blade deployment state. This right here is when I was like, all right, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, this is actually cracked, because this makes him very tanky. If you're planning on putting magic and physical resistance for slot 4 and 5 when you're, building him with ignition weapons, you can easily go above 100%. You're probably going to be like 160% or 180%. It's going to be very easy for you to get a ton of physical and magic resistance once you reach tier 5. It's insane. 80%? Like, are you kidding me? He's going to be a tanky as, like, he's going to be tanky as hell. And then for tier 6, it says Gustang's special move Pierce increases by 30% every time Recitation of Destruction is used, max 3 stacks. So that's pretty much like a 90% special move Pierce increase. Holy shit, bro. Like, this is literally crazy. And then for tier 7, it says Gustang's Secret Library Stage 3 is enhanced. He deals 1,600% of his attack as additional damage and inflicts unremovable burn, dealing an additional 400% of his attack in damage every second, no limit on stacks. Wow, the fact that he has no limit on stacks, that part is crazy. But the additional 1,600% of his attack as additional damage for Secret Library Stage 3, really good. So his tiers, really good. I feel like the best tier so far is between tier 4 and tier 5. Like the 80% physical magic resistance increase makes him a tanky DPS character. And if for tier 4, the fact that he's stealing energy, that makes him really good. In order for, like, you can pretty much spam his ultimate at this point because he's stealing energy, which is really nice. So his revolution tiers are very nice. And of course, since he is a mage unit, you have max cooldown reduction, you have bonus elimination energy whenever he eliminates an enemy, he gets energy for that. And then you have defense, effect resistance, evasion, right? You have HP, crit damage increase, attack increase, swiftness, crit rate, special move pierce. Remember, you're getting like a 90% special move pierce increase for tier 6. Plus, you have the node as well, right? The sub node, which is giving him more special move pierce. This is crazy, bro. Like this is insane. So his revolution is mind-boggling. It's really, really good. So now we talk about ignition weapons, his build. So this is where things start to get crazy. And honestly, there are so many sets that can benefit Gusting a lot. But we're going to talk about it. So the set that I'm using for my Gusting, since I have him at 1 blue star right now, I'm currently using Zila set. Because I feel like whenever using a DPS character and you have low dupes on them, you want to use Zila set so that you can increase their survivability. Because I don't have access to his magic and physical resistance increase in his revolution. I don't have access to that. So I don't have the ability to invest in other weapons that don't focus on magic and physical resistance increase. So therefore, the fact that he's low dupes for me, I'm using Zila set on him. And honestly, I think once you max him out, Zila set is still going to be good because it's going to make him extremely tanky thanks to the 80% physical and magic resistance increase. But this is my build on him, running Zila set. When it comes to slot 4 and 5, you want to run physical and magic resistance. And when it comes to substats, so the substats you want to focus on for this character, of course, magic, physical resistance. Now, if you have his revolution tier 5, like if you have the 80% physical magic resistance increase, I don't think you need to focus that much on physical and magic resistance, but I would still recommend you to do so because he's only going to get that 80% physical magic resistance increase when he's in the deployment state. Once he's out of that state, then he's not going to have that 80% physical and magic resistance. So therefore, I would still recommend you to focus on physical and magic resistance, even though you have the revolution tier 5. So physical magic resistance, physical pierce, right? Physical pierce, pretty good. Crit damage increase and crit rate. I feel like those 5 stats are pretty good. You can swap out physical pierce and focus on crit rate instead because he has a ton of physical pierce in his kit. You have it through his active skill, plus you have it in his level 4 exclusive equipment. So you can focus on getting crit rate, crit damage. That'll be pretty nice. And you can focus on getting magic and physical resistance. Those are like the top stats for Gusting as of to right now. Now, when it comes to other ignition weapons, so another good ignition weapon for him would be attack speed set because he is a ranged unit. So he'll be able to, receive additional attack. So we come down over here, right? We have attack speed set. This is also going to be pretty good, but I wouldn't recommend you to use attack speed set if you have low dupes on him. If you have below 3 red stars, don't use attack speed set. Focus on survivability. I feel like attack speed set is mostly for players who haven't maxed out, and you have the opportunity to focus on increasing his damage by using a set that increases his attack speed and his attack by like 50%. So heal set, pretty good on him, increases his attack. And when you want to, for like your slot 4 and 5 for attack speed set, I would still focus on magic and physical resistance for attack speed set. And then the last set would be idea set. And the reason why is because, once again, his special move is very, very important. You want to use a special move so that he'll increase the level of his secret library. He'll increase the stage effects. So for idea set, he's going to get 500 energy. Now, this is only going to happen one time, but you'll be able to get a guaranteed ult when you get idea set, when you put idea set on him. So you'll be able to reach at least, I'll say, stage 2 or stage 3 with idea set, which is pretty solid. So idea set also really, really good. But I think the main ignition weapon set that is really good on Gusting is Zila set. I think this is really good because when he's killing enemies, he's getting more. Not when he's killing enemies, but it says for each surviving enemy other than summon beings, it's going to increase his physical and magic resistance by 6%. So whenever he kills an enemy, he's going to lose physical and magic resistance with Zila set, but it's still fine. As long as you put physical and magic resistance for slot 4 and 5, you're good to go. And of course, we can't forget, since he is a family head character, his pocket certificate, really good. You guys can see 3 green stars. He gets HP, attack, and defense. 3 blue stars, decreased damage taken from blue element plus 70%. 3 red stars is where it's at because you get a Battlestar energy plus 200. That's why I said minimum for Gusting, minimum, if you're not planning on spending any money, try to get at least 3 red stars because the Battlestar energy is going to benefit Gusting a lot because you'll be able to use his ultimate a lot faster and you'll be able to build up the secret library stage effects. So get at least 3 red stars. You know, this update we have a lot of events. We also have they're gonna give us 150 tickets for free for Gusting, which is pretty good. So just grind and try to get at least 3 red stars. Me, I think I only bought the $9.99 deal in the shop and that was it. And I was able to reach 1 blue star. So it's definitely possible for free-to-play players to grind and get at least 3 red stars. But if you had like 0 black market tickets, 0 suspendium, I don't know. I'm gonna pray for you. But if you had like, let's say 200 black market tickets and 20,000 suspendium like me, it's definitely possible for you to grind and get the 3 red stars. So yeah, you guys can see, man, his pocket certificate, the same exact thing as a Traumerei because he is family head. Now, when it comes to teams, so this is a team that I'm currently using with my Gusting. This team is very solid. Now, here's the thing. For Gusting, you have to use Princess Anak with him. You have to. If you don't have it maxed out, you have to use him with Princess Anak because without Princess Anak, he is not going to be able to get a lot of energy and he won't be able to use his ultimate so that he can build up the secret library stack. So therefore, you need Princess Anak so that he'll be able to reach stage 3 a lot faster. So Princess Anak is mandatory with Gusting because she helps him build up those stage effects, which is really good for his passive so that he can do a lot more damage and he'll be able to synchronize with his active skill, whatever, the wall of fire, whatever. So Princess Anak, really good with Gusting. Albelda, of course, going to be paired up with Gusting to boost his damage. Yiwa, maxed out Yiwa is insane because your team just doesn't die, right? Your team doesn't die because she has this thing right here where it says removes debuffs from all allies healed by life flame and grants invincibility for 2 seconds. So not only do you have Albelda who's giving Gusting invincibility frames, Yiwa is doing the same thing as well. So like he's pretty much receiving a lot of invincibility frames, which is pretty solid. And then Awaken rank, of course, is going to be our tank unit. So this team was doing me justice. It's a really strong team. When it comes to counters, Flight Uric, it's really hard for Gusting to get rid of Flight Uric because he's constantly, you know, activating that shield. So you do have to watch out for that. You have to use Traumerei to deal with Flight Uric. But other than that, Gusting's been doing really well so far. If you don't have this team, like if you don't have Yiwa, Princess Anak, or whatever, or Albelda, then you can put in Bomb, right? We come down over here, Bomb. Let me see if I can actually find him. There he is. Bomb. This guy also gives energy, pretty good. So you definitely want to use a character that restores energy for Gusting so that Gusting can use his ultimate and he'll be able to do a lot more damage. That's pretty much how he works. We're going to put Albelda back in over here. Let's come back to red element. So now a huge mistake is you putting Ejin in this team. So one thing, like when I was doing my live stream, I made this mistake because I put Ejin and then I thought that, you know, this team was going to be very good because, you know, Ejin, he was going to deal a lot of damage since it's like a red element team. But I forgot that Princess Anak, she only targets the ally who has the highest attack. And Ejin has the highest attack for me. So therefore, she's not going to give Gusting any energy because she's focusing on Ejin. So don't make that mistake. Don't put Gusting with a character that has more attack than him. You want to make sure that Gusting has the highest attack because if he doesn't, Anak is not going to focus on Gusting. She's not going to link with him and she's going to give the character with the highest attack energy instead of Gusting. So that's one mistake that you have to watch out for. Let's put our Awaken right back in. Let's go ahead and go through this fight right here. So hopefully Data Yurik doesn't one-shot my team, because Data Yurik, he's known for one-shotting. It's really annoying, but we should be able to beat this. All right, here we go. Now, here's the thing too. A maxed out Gusting is going to be very good against Data Yurik, because he's going to push Data Yurik into the back row, and Data Yurik won't be able to use his ultimate because he's reducing energy. So you guys can see that wall of fire right there. The enemy, they're not receiving any energy. Their energy is getting reduced. Look at that. They literally cannot do anything. It's crazy. Like, that wall of fire is it's just so broken. It's so broken because he's reducing energy and he's pushing everybody to that fire, and he can't do much. You guys can see right here, 470 billion damage, pretty good. Receive 0 damage. This guy's a menace. Let's do this next stage. It's gonna be like the last stage we're gonna do here. But when you're facing enemies like Blanc, Evan, Ron May, Gusting is going to destroy these characters, because Blanc, the most annoying thing about Blanc is her heals. The fact that she is constantly spamming heals, it is just annoying as fuck. But the fact that Gusting, he creates that wall of fire, blocks, right? He's able to block Blanc, and she can't do anything because her energy is just getting reduced every time, and she can't use her ultimate. So it's just cracked, man. It's cracked. But of course, you have like support characters who provide insane heals with their active skills. So you do have to watch out for that. You know, even though he's able to reduce their energy, you have to watch out for active skills. So you got the maxed out Iwa, got Princess Anak giving that energy. Look at that. And I forgot about the time stop as well. He's able to do that time stop and freeze enemies. So look at this. Negative 200 energy, reducing their energy by 200 every second. It's so fucking broken, dude. Honestly, I love the fire skill. Like, the wall of fire skill is so cool, man. It's so good. I feel like it makes him a really good unit overall. A lot of people are, you know, hyped about the HP based damage, but me personally, I feel like the wall of fire skill is so good because he's reducing energy. Plus, for his revolution, he can steal that energy and he can spam his ultimate. It's so fucking broken. Now, the real question is, you know, is Gusting better than Traumerei? Honestly, I feel like both characters, they complement each other. I don't think Traumerei is better than Gusting, and I don't think that Gusting is better than Traumerei. And the reason why is because, once again, Flight Yurik, right? Flight Yurik, he's able to spam that shield, and it's very hard for Gusting to deal with that. You know, some people told me on my live stream that their Gusting, they were able to, you know, defeat Flight Yurik even though he was spamming shield with their Gusting. But some people were saying that Gusting couldn't really do much against Flight Yurik and they had him maxed out. So it's situations like that that proves that both characters complement each other. If you are going up against Flight Yurik, if you're going up against an enemy who's going to spam shields, you want to use Traumerei. He's the best man for that. That's what he's known for, getting rid of shields. Gusting, on the other hand, he's known for destroying enemies in the back line, right? And it's not just enemies in the back line. It's the fact that he's able to push everybody to the edge of the battlefield and just steal their energy and then just nuke them with damage. So Gusting is definitely like the stronger, you know, DPS character. Like, he's a DPS unit, so therefore he is definitely stronger when it comes to damage. But when it comes to utility, I feel like it's a close call. It's a close call. Gusting has CC in his kit, which is really good. Immune to all stats effects except for sleep. Like, he definitely has, you know, CC potential in his kit, and he has invincibility. He's able to teleport. Like, both characters complement each other. We have a Gusting who's untargetable, right? Untargetable, removes shields. He's able to buff. He's able to buff summon beings. He's able to buff their damage. You know, like, both characters, they're both doing their own thing, right? They're both doing their own thing. But I feel like the main thing that Gusting is really good for is the energy reduction. Like him reducing the enemy's energy, you're dealing HP based damage, and at the same time, he's able to deal really nice damage. Meanwhile, for Traumerei, it's more like he's able to reduce take away shields, right? Make enemies naked, remove their shields, and deal great damage. And at the same time, he's able to support and he's untargetable. So both characters, they're both really good. So honestly, I don't think Gusting is better than Traumerei and Traumerei is better than Gusting. I think they're both complementing each other, and you can use them in the same team. You can use both characters in one team. I know there's gonna be a lot of people spamming Traumerei and Gusting in Arena because you can use family head characters together. I thought they were going to ban them, like, oh, you can only use one family head, you can't use the other, or you can't use more than one family head unit in a team. I thought they were gonna do that, but apparently that's not gonna happen. So you can use both characters together and it work really well together. So yeah, that's like my overall thoughts on Gusting, and hope you guys enjoyed this guide video. I enjoyed this video. I enjoyed this character, and would I recommend you guys to summon for Gusting? Yes, I would recommend you to get Gusting. Honestly, don't ever skip a family head character because these units will always be broken. They will always be broken. HP based damage, reducing energy, CC, like you guys can't skip this. And we are going to get a free copy of this character, so you might as well just get the guy. So I would definitely recommend you guys to get Gusting. He is a powerful unit, very good. Probably going to be like, honestly, I don't think he's going to be the strongest DPS. Like when I mean by strongest DPS, I don't think that his damage will surpass White. I think his damage will definitely surpass Duon, but White, I don't know. White, his damage is still nuclear. He just goes into the back row and just one taps and that's it. So I think Gusting is an amazing damage dealing unit, but he has a lot of things in his kit that makes him really good. It's not just damage, it's the reducing energy. All that is just really good. It's just so good. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. That's pretty much it for today's video. Family head Gusting, second family head unit in the game, and he is really good. Really good with low dupes. And that actually makes me happy because one of my main complaints with this game is that they only make characters viable with like max dupes or above 3 red stars. But for Gusting, he's pretty good below 3 red stars. And the same thing applies to Duon. It seems like the devs are starting to implement characters who are really good with low dupes, and that's actually pretty good. So yeah, this character is definitely satisfying, an amazing family head unit, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting more copies on this character. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. And we catch you guys on the next one. Peace.